Hello and welcome to Crew 42's River City Open coverage presented by Great Lakes Disc. We're here in Byron Center at Brewer Park. This is our feature card for round one. My name is Zachary and on the commentator's mic with me, I have RJ Centala. How you doing, RJ?
I'm doing pretty good. Thanks for asking.
I'm super excited. This is one of the best events in Michigan. We have a stacked card. We're going to jump right into this. What do we got going on, RJ?
Yeah, so this one's a pretty straightforward hole. I wouldn't be surprised if this plays the easiest on the day. You got a pretty wide open forehand on the left. The only thing you do is you kind of bring in that out of bounds to danger if you push it long or don't get it to hyzer. You also do have a backhand on the right side that tends to play a little bit more safe, but it is a tighter line. The only thing you're really worried about is the wind on this one.
Chandler Fry.
Got Shay, our TD of the event, announcing the names. First off, we have Chandler Fry. If you haven't seen him before, you're living under a rock. Great guy. Had him on the channel last year as well. Shot course record. Had him on the practice round too, and he's going to go with a forehand here.
Yeah, that seems to be kind of the standard play. Really easy kind of forehand to start off the day, and that is what you want to do. Put it right into circle one, probably 15
Next
feet
on
at
the
most.
tee, representing Dynamic Disc.
And then I don't think I've seen
Wyatt Mahoney.
play before. Is he from
Yeah,
Michigan?
So dynamic disc player, world champion, junior champion. Love
Nice.
seeing some Wyatt in some action here. He's a lefty, so he's going to give us that different perspective today. Super excited.
Same but different.
Yes.
Little short, but yeah, as long as you get over those trees and
Next
you're
on the tee,
finishing
representing Disc
left to
Craft,
right, you're
Luke
going to have a shot
Taylor.
or a putt on this hole. And we got Luke Taylor, 17, or is he 18 now?
I think he's 18 now.
18-year-old
It
phenom.
doesn't matter. He's young.
Yeah, he's the reason that I want an MP30 division, so I don't have to compete with him every weekend. It's really stupid that I have to. That's exactly what you want to do. I mean, should be pretty routine for these guys. Star frame
And
should be
last
kind
the
of standard
tee,
on this
your
one.
Two-time River City Open champion, representing DGA, Andrew Marwede.
We got. I don't know if I've ever seen this guy play before.
Is he
New to
new?
the card? Yeah. Andrew Marwede should be.
Multiple-time winner of this event.
Yeah.
He's probably the favorite to win it. Highest rated player in the field. Luke is second highest rated player. We have
it
some
should be a
other
good battle.
local players in the field as well, like Nick Gill. We'll see how they kind of pan out going in the future. Chandler Fry did very well in the past as well. Wyatt's going to start us off with a very firm putted birdie.
Yeah, he rocketed that thing in there.
Yeah,
it's a good
that's-
thing these aren't the regular base chain stars. I would have hit pole right back in his face. Ooh, weak side catch. That's that 20-some footer that you really want to get on the first hole to kind of set the tone for the entire event.
Yeah, definitely hole, like you had mentioned earlier, probably plays as easiest. Actually plays as almost middle of the pack as the
Really?
ninth easiest hole. I think that OB kind of snuck up on some people who don't have the strongest forehand like myself.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that for sure.
Chandler tapping it in, like you mentioned. Star frame to get us going.
Yeah.
Very expected for our feature card here. That's going to move us on to hole 2, 312 feet. There's 2 plays at this. You can either go backhand in this left gap and turn it over a little bit. It lands a little smoother and tends to kind of land by the basket. Or you can go with a forehand skip. Try to get to that tree on the left side, trying to get in front of that and kind of flare towards the basket. The forehand, I would say, is more of an ace line, and the backhand is more of a play if you're trying to park it.
Yeah, you pretty much just want to put it right by that tree that's in front. There are some people, I've tried this before, this backhand line on the right. It's just kind of a standard stand-up hyzer. It's a little bit obviously tighter, but yeah, it's also a shot that some people do that are dumb like myself.
Did it not work out for you?
It worked once.
Okay.
It kind of depends on the wind. So, yeah, I think if I remember correctly, this is like a stiff headwind typically.
Mm-hmm.
So something a little bit more stable. It's kind of a fine line of trying to turn it over, but this plays really good for a lefty, which is something a little stable. And that's outside the circle, but putting, this is another one. I mean, you should really start birdie, especially if you want to win this event.
Yes. I'd say contenders are trying to go 3 of the first 4, 6 of the first 7. That's a dream start.
Yeah. Front 9 definitely plays, I'd say, easier than the back 9. That's exactly what you want to do if you're throwing that forehand. You want it to skip right at that little little bushy area, the little bushy trees to the left of the basket.
Marby's going to follow suit with a forehand of his own.
Looks like a raptor.
I think it's a Hellfire.
No, I think he throws like, I think that's a raptor.
Oh, that is. Yeah, you can see the stamp when it flashed over. Yeah, big Z.
I think
probably.
the Hellfire is a little bit too overstable. You really have to kind of force it over to get it to the.
It just looks like his blue one. He got me tricked. Chandler from distance.
Yeah, he
off the top.
I think that headwind just kind of shoved his down. He threw like kind of a slower, like probably like a buzz or something like that.
I think a Comet probably for him. He loves his Comets.
Does he?
Yeah.
I think that headwind just kind of shoved it right over. Ooh, good little spinner there. That is a spin putt for sure. There's no like, oh, is it a push or a spin? That's
a spin putt.
Just right from the chest too.
Reminds me a lot of like Michigan legend Dan Treese. Guys
That or like Michael Johansson.
Yep.
He spins it.
Yep. Looks a lot like that.
Luke, good little hyzer putt. A little low. That's where you want to put them on these ones.
It is the fifth easiest hole on the round. Averaging
Really, this was easier than one.
Correct. Averaging 2.62, while hole 1 averaged 2.7.
So not like a lot.
Not a lot, but just a little. Probably like
That's
5 more
surprising,
birdies.
though. I mean, I always try to start hole 1 with a birdie, but yeah. We had one
same number of
par.
birdies actually, just fewer bogeys.
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
There's really not. It's really hard to bogey that hole.
Yeah. What do we got going on here?
We got hole 3. This is definitely one of the tougher ones, I'd say. You pretty much have, it's probably about 350 foot of power for a forehand straight up this tunnel, or there is a backhand turnover, which is definitely a lot more technical. You kind of have to swing it out wide and really commit to the turn. If you don't have a 350 foot forehand, it's tough. So get it down that gap, give it a little bit of flex, a little bit of straight, and let it hyzer at the very end. And again, another really good lefty hole.
Yeah, we're gonna start off with some favorable holes for Wyatt, and
That's perfect.
Yeah, there's gonna be a couple holes that are gonna be tough for him for sure.
Yeah, like the next hole.
yeah, like the next hole, but he will have an advantage on a few of these starting holes.
Yeah, and this is a huge advantage for like Luke and Andy who have these big forehands. He's probably just throwing a raptor. I'm throwing like the fastest disc in my bag to get it even, probably to the mouth, and these guys are just throwing fairway drivers. He gets it a little bit. He didn't get it quite turned over enough, which a lot of times this wind is like a left to right tail.
Yep.
So you really got to commit to turning it over, or it's just throwing a pure hyzer like that.
Yeah, Marby's got a little more power in the forehand area than the rest of the card.
Yeah, that's great. If you can do that, that just makes this hole so much easier. You don't have to commit you don't really have to think about the angle. It's just a one angle hyzer all the way down to the basket. And this is going to be that turnover that I was talking. Yeah, see, he's got to go a little wider. He didn't quite get it to turn, though. I think that was the same disc as the last hole.
Yeah, but it's a Comet from him. He loves those Comets, and he usually controls them really well, but not quite able to find the angle he needs.
You see a lot of the discgraph guys, they throw usually a Meteor for that shot. It's a Comet you don't see a lot, because the Comet's definitely a little slower, if I remember correctly. So this is kind of a goofy shot, too.
He's got a crazy collection of Comets.
He's probably the only one.
Luke from way downtown.
Yep.
After cutting the corner a little bit there.
Must be a nice luxury to be able to jump putt this far. Or I didn't even jump.
Downhill. Just off the top.
Yeah, it looked like it was like closer to 90 than it was the 60. But still, not having to jump. Hits the top of the basket. And then Wyatt, this is for his birdie.
Yeah. Is he going to be 3 for 3 potentially if he gets this to go?
Closer than I thought. Well, yeah, he did get a little bit of a roll, but... Ooh, good spinner again.
Likes doing the spin putt there. He's got himself 3 for 3. Only one who's going to keep pace at this point or has a chance is Marwede.
It's so scary when you have to putt it that fast, because if you don't hit anything, you're just having the same distance.
You just sail it, yeah.
Yeah, but you do cut through that wind quite a bit better than like, for instance, Andy with more of a traditional pitch putt, if you will. Good cleanups. Andy parked for birdie.
He's got that really overstable. I think it's a Hurricane.
That one's probably, or that. Yeah, I think that was definitely either a Hypercane or a Hurricane.
Yeah, it's one of those two. They're too similar. I can't tell.
Yeah, Hypercane definitely more. I think Hypercane would have been too stable.
got hole 4, a signature hole for this course. Infamous or famous, depending on how you feel about it. But
Depending on your tee shot.
that's right. It is a shoe horse hole where horseshoe, that's the word. I almost said horseshoe, that's the one. This is the ideal landing zone right in this kind of dirt patch. The drone's going to take the outside gap, which is kind of the safe intended gap for you to get a birdie look. So you get 1 to that dirt patch, 2 on top of the hill, and then a very narrow fairway with some plinkle trees and an approach, and then you get your putt for birdie. There is a left gap as well that if you cut just the right angle off your drive, you can actually get it disc up into the green in 2 and get an eagle look, but that's still very uncommon. It's very hard to get that shot.
This is a tough lefty hole. That's pretty well executed because you can't go too far to that to the right side of the fairway. It really just you only get one option at that point. You have to go wide, which definitely makes the hole a lot tougher. This is definitely looking really good though. If
Just
that finish, yep, that's
fine.
Those trees just really mess up the good drive. That's the one thing I don't like about this hole is when you feel like you really executed a drive well, you hit those trees and then you have just the weirdest upshot.
Whoa, Luke going really stable.
Flex.
Probably some form of a Raptor or a really stable
that's really
disc.
good. He'll be able to probably throw like a flex forehand through that left gap, get down there, have a pretty easy up and down birdie. That's kind of that's
a good
play.
spot. Yeah. This looks like it's drifting right.
Yeah, it needs to come out.
There it comes.
Hyzer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
work.
really good.
Yeah, that probably a little deeper than what he wanted, but like that, he probably wants that farther left, another 15 feet. But
those stumps that are in front of him, that's like the landing spot, and the landing spot's only like 10, 20 feet wide for like a perfect shot. And as long as you really just get out, that should be perfectly fine. You should be able to get up and down pretty easy for a birdie. As long as your drive is executed enough to where you can get out over the hill, it should be a birdie. But you can definitely see some 6, 7, 8s on this hole if you go early into the woods. That's going to work perfectly fine. That's exactly what he was probably looking to do. And this is looking like a goofy shot, especially for a lefty.
yeah, probably a roller here. Like that's probably the aggressive play. Otherwise, you're just pitching up.
Big turnover.
Yeah, just into the landing zone, and that's totally fine.
Yeah.
Just a longer approach shot.
Yeah, it's going to be probably pretty close to like 270, 280 from there. Downhill, really touchy especially with the downhill angle.
Luke's getting
that looks
real
a little
aggressive.
tight. Oh no, he got it through there. Come out. Holy cow. Wow.
Flashing, nearly putting in an albatross. Jeez, oh Pete.
Yeah, that's
dropping eagle.
Wow.
That's
Yeah, I've seen a couple eagles.
Crazy.
I think Kyle Klein last year had like it's almost he had like a very similar drive, but through like a flip up backhand, and the guy said it just missed it, like flashing in front of the chains.
wow.
It'll be a matter of time before somebody does it, especially for how many tournaments we play at Brewer a year.
But right now, Luke and Kyle, the closest one is Marwede. That's not good.
Yeah, that was
Gonna
not the shot he was looking for.
Chandler could definitely use a birdie here. A little slow off of his first 3 holes. He wanted all 3 of them.
Got to finish. Yep. It's a little shorter than he probably wanted it, but
Circle's
still,
edge.
Yeah, I mean, at this level, we got to be making those.
Marwede from way downtown. Giving this a layup / half bid if you could get it there, but it's pretty. That was a big ask, 170 feet away.
It's nice to be able to jump putt from that distance, though. It takes a lot of decision making out. Good putt from Chandler. Very good putter.
Luke is gonna drop in. He's still waiting. He's just like
everyone else is gonna be tapping in their pars and birdies, and he's just gonna be tapping in an eagle. Ooh. That low side.
Had a chance. But
didn't look like a very confident release out of that one.
Luke, one of 2 eagles on round 1.
There was 2
There were
on the
2.
round 1?
Yes.
Who was the other person?
The other one was Andrew Wanch.
Oh.
So he was able to get
Cheddar Wanch.
the cheddar. That's right. Able to get his eagle. I don't think it was this close, though, from what stories that I've heard. It was He had to earn his a little harder than this one, but
yeah, I mean that's gross.
I don't think we've ever seen an eagle easier than that one.
Yeah.
That was insane. Marwede unfortunately tapping a par.
Losing 3.
Two.
2, sorry.
2 strokes.
2 strokes to Luke on that one.
Yep.
So this one is probably my favorite drive to throw on the entire course. It's just a stand-up backhand. You really just want to miss this tree that we're about to pass right now, this kind of white tree right here, and then just let it hyzer through the trees. As long as you miss that, you're going to have a pretty decent upshot. Usually about anywhere from like 300 to 250 into the pin. You could do backhand or forehand. Forehand's a little bit favorable coming in since the hill does kind of
Grades
slant.
up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so you kind of spike into the hill versus hyzering away. But this is probably my favorite tee shot to throw on the entire course.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
I just like how it looked when you execute it well. It just looks so sick going down that
yeah.
tunnel of trees, just like this one. As long as it's not too high, yeah, it
Got-
just looks so good when you
That's so
execute it.
good.
That's so far up there.
It's like close to the old pin position
Yeah.
that used to be on the left. That's a birdie look at the old par 4. Jeez, oh Pete.
Oh, the eagle look.
That's crazy.
Yeah, this was a really good change on this one because definitely was way too easy before. It was just super stock hyzer.
Chandler.
Another one. As long as it misses, yeah, that's the tree right there. That was the one I was talking about. As long as you miss that tree, you're gonna have a good tee shot.
This is an
You can
interesting
miss it
lefty
left
shot.
or right. Yeah, this is another one. Even if he does hyzer at the end, there should be a backhand at the end. That is not where you want to go though, unless he's going like really big
Nope,
turnover.
It's gonna
yeah.
kick that tree right there. Unfortunate break for Wyatt. Marwede's already seen Luke's shot.
Yeah, he needs to
Can't
really
lose another
execute.
stroke.
Gets a little bit of turn on it as long as he misses that tree. Yeah, too high.
Yeah.
It's especially at this time of the year. Those leaves are grown to their fullest potential, so they really it makes the fairway a lot tighter than let's say spring or fall time.
Wyatt with the lefty here. This looks a little high.
Got to get turned. Does not get turned enough. It was probably fine. They just the height. You just got to get the height right.
Yeah, and that limits your distance, and he's probably going for pin. And
Yeah.
but
Still,
you should
that
be able
should
to get 4.
Yeah, that
you
should
should
be
get a 4
pretty
from
up
there.
and down. He didn't make it worse with that shot.
Chandler has an opportunity to save this one. He's got a sneaky route that he can take here. Oh, he's going to the other route.
He's got to get a big skip.
Yeah, too early into that long grass.
He needed a little bit more height on that. I think that would have been fine if he would have got a little bit more height, and the angle needed to be a little bit more hyzer. This is really long tunnel forehand shot. Big skip. Oh, yeah.
Get a roll. Yeah.
Oh, good roll. Sit. Now sit. Stop rolling. Okay. Wow, that was a really good shot from back there.
That's high level of execution there. Why, with this approach left, he's got to miss that last guardian tree to give himself a
The little stump.
4 look. Nudges it.
That's probably like
It's right next to Marwede, though.
18
Yeah.
feet. You should be making those.
Plenty close.
Yeah, just a little chip forehand.
We just now get to Luke's drive.
Yeah, I mean, that's huge drive. So he's just got a little zone up shot.
I think that's a zone OS.
Whatever it is.
Yeah,
Just an
it's-
overstable approach shot. Just makes the hole so much easier when you can get that much distance on the hole.
Chandler from way back. He's pretty good at floating. Some putts up here. This looks a little wide from him, but
Yep.
should be a tap in 5 feet away.
Good up and down.
Yeah, the hole 4 and 3 after holes 1 and 2 in like middle of the pack and the easiest 9 holes. 3 and 4 are the 4th and 3rd hardest holes. So you go from pretty easy to pretty difficult. And then these next upcoming holes, the next 3 holes are all in that middle difficulty as well. Hole 5 being the easiest of them, currently at the 3rd easiest hole, averaging 3.6. So
Yeah, that's not surprising. I mean, it is got some teeth if you don't throw a good drive, but if you do what Luke did, even if you don't go, you could be 100 feet shorter than Luke was. But as long as you throw like a similar line, you're gonna have an easy up and down birdie. It's just executing that height and then that good like hyzer flip to flat to hyzer again, backhand, or even just
Since
like a turnover.
2015, Great Lakes Disc has been supporting players at all levels, from local leagues and events to professional disc golfers on the Disc Golf Pro Tour. Visit GreatLakesDisc.com to learn more.
All right, here back at hole 6, par 4, 579 feet. This is a difficult tee shot. You have this narrow window, 2 trees. It's not a double mando, but it is narrows
like
it up.
it.
Yes, certainly does. You really want to get to the left of these 3 big trees on the right side of the fairway. You can either push deep through them to try to get up far in the fairway, or just get in front of the short pad and have that approach shot. There's 2 windows, right or left, either backhand or forehand, into this kind of upgrade hill. The tee shot is the most important shot here.
Very technical kind of hole, because you can really kind of play it. Once you get out of that fairway, you can play it a couple different ways. I've even seen people go right of that big tree that kind of forces you. Some of them on accident, some of them not. But that should be fine. That's kind of...
Yep.
I throw like a... You can throw like kind of like a PD Onyx kind of like disc, like that 10 speed. That's like stable, but not too overstable. Give it a little flex through the gap, just like that. As long as that comes out.
Needs this to cook left for him, and it looks like it does. Perfect landing zone.
Yeah, that's exactly where you want to be. Just in front of that short tee pad. If you can get... The more in front of that short tee pad, the easier the hole gets.
Yeah, both hole 5 and 6, you're rewarded for extra distance if you can get it.
Yeah, this one looks a little sawed off, maybe. No, it kind of stayed. That's going to be tricky.
Yeah, a little more obstacle than he wants, but he's past
This is
the
another
gully.
one that's
Or
tough for a
what would you
lefty.
call that? Not a gully. What is that little
Creek bed?
Sure, that's what it is. Creek
Kind of
bed.
a creek in the spring and the fall.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's got us. Did he
Yeah.
get past all this
Yeah,
stuff or no?
so he got past the first tree, and there's that second
the
tree
second one.
in front of him that he whacked and came backwards on.
Oh,
So
that's kind of crappy. He's got like no run up here. That's mush though for no run up. Get up there. That was very well executed with no run up. I mean, the fact I think he has like almost circle 2. Looks like it,
yeah,
right?
just outside, I think.
That's crazy. That's a lot of power.
He does have a lot of power.
It's like easily 350 from a standstill, what he just did there.
Chandler now going with a putter backhand
Luna.
approach. He's got get some ground action. He's
Yeah,
got-
this is deceptively long the way that this, because you got this low ceiling that you have to go through, and then
uphill.
it's uphill. Yeah, so I always, even from where Andy is, sometimes I'll even throw a fairway driver on this right side, just so I can get that low skip up there. That was a really good, I think that was like a zone.
Mhm. That's his glow zone. Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually my glow zone.
I'm sorry. This is your old glow zone.
Yeah. The Great Lakes Open one from like 2013 or 2014.
Wow.
Good run. And yeah, that was pretty easy for the boy Luke Taylor.
Making the last couple ones very easy for himself. Wyatt,
Yeah.
long downtown. He's giving it a spin.
The fact that he had a look though.
Yeah,
is
from
pretty,
his first drive. Yeah.
pretty gross.
Hole 6, as I mentioned earlier, is playing as one of the easier, the 11th or 10th, excuse me, easiest hole on the day.
Good
Chandler,
catch.
they're good birdie. Way to get back on track there.
Yeah, that was deceptively longer than it looked off of his shot. I thought it was going to be like 25, but that was definitely, it looked like it was outside the circle.
Mm-hmm.
Always feels good to get those kind of not necessarily bonus ones, but definitely like a 50-60% when you're at that like 38-foot length. You should be anyways.
Yeah.
I mean, for
Circle's
these guys,
edge, just
yeah.
outside circle, right?
Those always feel really good to get because it feels really nice when you make them. We got 3 birdies on that one.
Yeah.
That's kind of that's a lot of this course is your 3 of the guys are going to birdie it more than likely a lot of these holes.
Yeah, absolutely.
This one really forces you into just a low backhand through this kind of gap, even through those branches on the right of that tree.
Mm-hmm.
Throw a hyzer, throw a forehand hyzer. Or if you want to get tricky, you can throw like up this middle gap where the drone went. The one thing with throwing a forehand hyzer is that tree to the left, those branches are very grabby for the forehands. You're going to, if it hits those branches, you're going to have about a 40-footer for birdie, which isn't bad, but when you want to put it next to the basket, it definitely makes you a little mad. So this needs to get lucky, and it did. It got very lucky.
I'd also say, compared to the last 2 holes, extra distance on this hole does not necessarily help you.
No, it makes the angle a little tricky.
Yeah.
If you don't have like that forehand power, you really want to get it up there. This has got to finish, but that's like the standard kind of low backhand line.
Yep.
that'll give him. I mean, he's got the forehand power, obviously, to swing it out there.
And Marwede likes to avoid the branches you were talking about by actually flashing in front of them. So I think being farther back from Marwede helps because it lets them push forward lower.
Yeah, get in front of the branches. Yeah, because a lot of people, they'll swing it wide. This is what you don't want to do. And then sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you don't.
Yeah, no run up probably, but he'll be on the far end of it.
Mm-hmm. I forgot that the left side was OB for this.
Correct.
Event. It's not usually out of bounds, but very rarely does that come into play. This is another one that was just like not a lefty hole. So you went from very favorable lefty holes for the first 3 to the next 3 just being brutal lefty holes.
That did not get a good kick for him.
No. He might have like a backhand hyzer out of there since he is left-handed, but it's going to be tough. This is just asking for a lot if you can get it through there. And he did. Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
just outside circle.
The fact that he's like 45, 48 feet, that's pretty gross.
This has to be a big shot for him, but he's got a limited ceiling. He has branches right above him.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, hang on. That might be a little too stable. No, that was great. Wow.
Spectacular scramble for him.
It's a good thing he's left-handed on that one.
Yeah, that's very true. Full swing.
Yeah, this is like if you were drawing it up before the event, this is kind of what you want to do. Exactly where Andy's at. And then just a little kind of 280-foot forehand right before the branches. He was a little shorter probably than he wanted to be, but again, those branches just are so you can see how grabby they look like.
Yeah. Luke here a little farther forward than Marwede.
He's going to have to go hyzer.
He's actually going grenade.
He's
trying to this grenade. As soon as he lets it go, he goes, that's not the right disc.
Yeah.
And he's going to be off in the woods somewhere.
As I was saying, that tree, from the Wizard of Oz, those evil apple trees, that's kind of like what this tree looks like. Those branches, they're just so grabby.
Chandler almost able to save a birdie there.
That would have been a gross birdie. Oh, he's got a nice little window, too. That's just like, yeah.
Sometimes it's your day.
Yeah, for real. That little plant that's in the way, though.
Oh, misses it.
Hyzer.
Yeah, high and left there.
He's probably still outside the circle there.
Yeah.
And he's got the straddle out from about 29, 30 feet.
This is to put it back to tie with Luke.
Yeah.
That's a big putt.
I mean, 6 through 7?
Yep. That's, like I said, that's what you want, right?
Yeah, I mean, just...
You give yourself
really
one hole to forgive.
Much better.
Yeah. 18 down here is very, very well, possible, but to expect to execute all 18
Chandler
holes.
was, 16 last year?
Yeah.
I mean, just absolutely gross. That wasn't even 1,100 rated, right?
Correct.
Just disgusting.
He had
really good birdie for Wyatt there after that.
Yeah,
not
from
great
his
drive.
Yeah, that was great save for him.
Chandler almost able to save it, but not quite.
It's going to move us on to hole 8 now. Very famous hole. Blew up on social media a couple years ago with a ace that was showed on Jomez and some other social media sites. It's 420 feet. It starts by going downhill, then back uphill. The basket actually finishes probably 20 feet above your head at the other end of it. That does slope slightly right to left. So if you throw a backhand righty, you want it to land flat because if it lands on hyzer, it tends to skip and roll away. It's really good for the lefty or forehand if you had 420 foot power, 450. Yeah. Because
the wind is always a left or right on this one.
Yeah.
It always feels like it's a straight tail, but it's always left or right. So you do what Andy does right there. It's just going to push that disc right, and then you're going to end up with a long circle 2 from the long grass. Yeah. Lefty, if you have the power, is definitely just big hyzer. Oh, just didn't get it high enough and too stable.
Oh, is it flipping?
Little late.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure he wanted to park this one with the power that he has. You just got to really commit to hanging it to the side you want it. If you're going to throw the righty backhand, you almost want to throw a hyzer flip and just aim on where the long grass and the short grass meet and just let it kind of ride that line and then finish really slow at the end. That's got some turnover. That looks really good.
Looked kind of sketchy when it came out of his hand because it looked like it was going to hyzer out.
Yeah, it didn't look like it had enough.
Just kept turning.
Yeah, it was definitely a very flippy disc. And that's going to be probably 20 feet, which is, really far.
Yeah, inside circles is good here.
Yeah.
Chandler likes to push the right side a little bit here, let it be on more hyzer, and just kind of push the distance.
It looked like he just kind of flexed it out there.
And that's going to be even closer.
Perfect. If you have like the flex power like that with something really stable, yeah, you just have to have so much power to get it like something that stable over there.
Marwede from way downtown in circle 2.
Get it. Ooh, just gets it over the cage.
It's like he's like one of the world's best putters or something.
Get you a little, was it, they still calling this the crew view?
Taking another look at it, seeing his reaction, little fist pump. You know it's a good putt if he fist pumps it.
Yeah. The fact, another standstill putt, didn't even jump it. Because, that putt, like, it doesn't look like it on camera, but it is definitely downhill. So if you miss that, that's where, that right there specifically, that very easily puts bogey into play. That sucks. That was a really unfortunate roll. Yeah, he's got this coming back for par, which is tough, especially with his wind. You can see through his shorts, the wind is ripping, and he is very confused.
Yeah, I thought that was going to get a lift, and he's probably
did the exact opposite, which is very, very on par for Brewer. It's always a headwind whenever you're playing out here. It doesn't matter which way the wind's blowing, it's always a headwind. It's what it feels like. I remember playing this day, and it was, it's exactly that. It just feels like it's always a headwind, and that's a very good 2. You might get like 1 out of 4 on your card will get a 2. The fact that 2 of them got it, it's pretty good.
2?
3, sorry. Yeah,
3 of them.
I forgot that Andy got it too. Yeah, that was that long putt.
From downtown.
Didn't feel like it was, a birdie.
Yeah, unfortunate break there for Wyatt with the roll away, but them's the break sometimes, and this green definitely has that in play at times.
Yeah, if you get too aggressive. We got hole 9, last hole on our front 9. This one is probably should be one of the easier ones, but it definitely can be tricky. It is deceptively hard because of how this green plays. So if you were throwing a backhand, I like to throw just like a straight putter. A lot of people get suckered into throwing like a hyzer along the right side, and then it always looks like it's like the exact spot you want it, and then it's left. Or a forehand, same thing. You're like, oh yeah, that was perfect, and it's right. You really want to be whatever hyzer angle you're picking, way more to the other side than you think. Like that, he probably thought was perfect, and then since it came in with so much angle, it spiked by the basket and then rolled down to circle 2.
Marwede was talking about this hole as we lined up. He said, there's that tree on the left, the little baby tree. He says, picture a small basket on that.
Yeah.
And I try to ace it.
Yep. And so this looks like it's going to be perfect. I guarantee it's going to be right.
Yep. And it's just like, if it happens to go down the hill, then I'll put uphill, but like...
Yeah, he threw a slower speed. He actually threw a zone. I thought that was like a Raptor or something like that. That's still, just a little short, but exactly what you want to do.
You have a little downhill putt.
I just don't, the forehand. See, that's probably wide enough, and then it's going to skip down there.
Just slow enough on the front side. Stops him from going anywhere.
You want to hit that. You want to hit for sure short of the basket, because if you did what Andy did and hit by the basket, it's just
gone.
See ya, gone.
Yeah. Wyatt being a lefty gets us another perspective, even though we've seen the forehand.
Yeah, geez, this is the most on the other side that I've seen. Sit.
Oh, good line for the ace. He's going to be circle's edge, though, on the right side, like you said. Gets that little extra ground action that way.
Always do. It always looks perfect, and then it's not.
Then it just isn't.
Yeah. Uphill, probably into a headwind. We're going to assume it's a headwind because it is Brewer.
This is for 8 of 9.
Gross.
8 of 9 to start. Marwede is on a just tear right now.
Yeah, him and Luke.
Course record in sight.
Yeah, definitely there.
But we have the harder back 9 to go after.
And that was a really good putt, especially after that last hole, just to kind of build some confidence going into the back 9. Because he's, even with like a 4 down front 9, he's kind of getting blown out of the water, which is, you can't really say that a lot when you're 4 down on the front 9.
Yeah.
Another really good putt from Luke. That was probably like 22, 23 feet. Again, probably into a headwind. And then Chandler, kind of a cleanup. Well executed hole.
Yep.
Star frame.
Absolutely. Good way to end our front 9 here. And kind of what you were talking about, too, about getting blown out of the water. To be fair, Luke and Marwede are kind of like expected.
On another level.
Yeah, they're expected to kind of shred this event. They're kind of doing like the Pro Tour pace that you would expect those guys to make.
He's scootering in.
Yeah, he's quite a kid. Chandler and Wyatt just a little off pace. I think you like if you're trying to shoot really solid.
A good like front 9.
I would say like if you're trying to like execute game plan, you're probably trying to shoot 6 or 7. 7's like hot, 6 is what you want, 5 is
For the
dang.
front nine,
Yeah, I missed 1 or 2, so they're not that far off the pace from probably what they want. But compared to Luke and Andrew, they're
off the pace.
They're off the pace. So we're gonna have to see if they can make any ground up on the back 9, and we'll see you guys back then.
Subscribe to the channel.
You won't. Okay, please do.
Please subscribe.